Earlier, I spoke to Gregory Poling of the Center for Strategic and International Studies about the political turmoil in Thailand. I began by asking for his reaction to the protesters' plan to shut down Bangkok.
It's clearly the next step in this progression of protests that have gotten more and more extreme. The protesters seem to have gotten to the point, Suthep Thaugsuban, who's leading them, that you have to draw the military in somehow if we're going to win this thing. Best way to do that is to shut down the capital, cause chaos as best you can, hopefully provoke some kind of overreaction from the government and the security forces.
The Prime Minister is saying that she can handle it, that with 8,000 military personnel, even with millions of protesters out there, they can handle it. Yet some administration officials have said they've already flown the coop. They've left their homes.
That's right. The administration has to say, we can handle it. You can't say that you might be able to handle it. I think she's hopeful she can. The real question is what happens on the ground with, police facing that many angry protesters, massive shutdowns. All it takes is one match thrown into this powder keg for it to get out of control.
Is this an effective tactic for them?
Time will tell. I think they hoped, the anti-government demonstrators hoped that the military would have stepped in before now, and they're running out of options. So if your goal is to bring about a coup or to bring about absolute chaos, this is your best option.
Right, so they have a lot of support in the South, the protesters. Suthep Thaugsuban, all of the Southern residents. Shinawatra has the support in the North. Who outweighs the other in terms of support?
It's clear that is largely how they're split, and the government side, the Shinawatra clan, has more support. When it comes to the ballot box, they have the bigger numbers. But that doesn't mean anything if you can't hold an election because half of the country can't get to the ballot box, they've shut down registration, things like that.
The Prime Minister has said her brother is not running the country at this point. How did we get to this point?
It's been a long progression. This really is, whether her brother's running the country or not is not important to the protesters so much as whether or not what he represents is, which is a new populist politics coming from the North, unseating the old Bangkok and Southern elites that have run the country for the majority of the 20th century. So he is the boogeyman, but he's just the representation of this larger demographic shift in Thailand that they can't stop or control.